2, 1. Hello and welcome back to Autism Fridays with Christopher Cleveland's Discussion Corner video project. Today we have Miss Elizabeth Wright. How are you today?
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing great so far. Please tell the audience your role in the autistic community and any relevant credentials you'd like them to know.
Well, my role in the community is as a parent to an autistic child.
Terrific.
As far as credentials, I don't really think I have any other credentials that are relevant.
That's perfectly fine. So take us through the diagnosis process. When did you first begin to suspect that your son could possibly fit the diagnostic criteria, and then how long did it take you to get confirmed?
So, we noticed that he wasn't, at 12 months, physically, he was doing everything very normal, but he wasn't really speaking. And there was a lot of repetitive motion, and a lot of everything had to be just a certain way and placed a certain way, and it kind of got me wondering, and I took him in for a well check with his doctor and told him about my concerns, and he signed us up for early intervention, and we did get a referral to primary children's to have him seen and diagnosed, and they diagnosed him as being on the spectrum, and that was that August of 2018, I believe. Yeah, August of 2018. So he was 3. Yeah, he was 3 at the time.
Wow.
But yeah.
So you got him confirmed on the most current data, in other words, under the DSM-5 definition.
Yes.
That's terrific.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think we got him diagnosed relatively early, because there was some pretty obvious signs, and he was diagnosed on the more severe end of the spectrum.
Oh, okay. And yeah, speech and repetitive patterns are definitely usually two of the go-to signs. I think they were used for my diagnosis when I was 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And having said all that, what has been a highlight for you of raising an autistic child, and what may have been like a struggle that maybe you still continue to have?
Yeah, my husband is over here whispering at me. A highlight, he's our youngest child, and he's full of energy, and he's loving, and he's got an infectious laugh, and he's a great kid, and he's brilliant. He's very smart. But I would say the biggest struggles have been sleep. He's got a very irregular sleep pattern, and he's considered nonverbal. So he's very vocal. He makes a lot of noise. He will say words occasionally, but he's considered nonverbal, and so communication has been a struggle.
And have you had him socialize with other kids? And if so, has there been anything that helped with progress?
So, yes, at school, he got some socialization. He was going to the Grand Preschool. He went there for a couple of years. And then COVID hit, and that kind of, squashed that. He had to stay at home, so he wasn't getting a lot of socialization with other kids other than his siblings. And now this is supposed to be his kindergarten year, and he is in kindergarten, but he's online, just because we didn't want to risk um, him bringing infection home to family that is high risk. Um,
Yeah, I
so
know a lot of parents that are doing that right now.
yeah, but that's really been a struggle, because online learning is hard in the best of situations. And
Oh yeah.
um, he, he doesn't. It's hard to get him to do any of the schoolwork, because he does not associate being at home with having to do work. He loves school. I think if he could go to school right now, he'd be doing really well, and they'd be able to get him to focus a little more. But yeah, that's been a challenge. And
I
it's hard, kindergarten is such a fun year, and he loves school, and I really wanted to be able to send him, but we decided that it's not the best idea at this time.
Yeah, I find a lot of parents are doing that, and I've had some work with the kindergartens this year through Beacon,
Mm-hmm.
and we have definitely like minimized how many kids we have, because we used to have up to 30 kids before COVID
Oh
hit
yeah,
in our Kinderfriend program, and we now have, last I checked, about 8.
yeah, yeah.
So anyway, so what would you say is your biggest hope for your son's future, and what maybe, if not a fear, is your biggest concern?
Um, my hope is that, I mean, we're always learning more and more about autism, and it's becoming more um, accepted. I would, I guess, is people are becoming more accepting and of the odd and understanding of the autism community.
Hmm.
Um, and so I just hope that continues. Um, and my hope is for him to be happy and healthy. Um, that's the most important thing.
Yep,
Um,
absolutely.
as far as my fears, of course, as a parent, you fear that your child is going to be mistreated um, and misunderstood, just because of who they are. And so that's a fear. And also, he is a runner. um, and because he's nonverbal, you run through these kind of nightmare scenarios in your mind of, what if he got out of sight, and what if he got lost, and yeah. So
Well,
those are some of my fears.
well, if he makes it to 4th grade without any of those fears becoming true, I've got a program that's great for that through Beacon.
That would be great.
So if every parent with an autistic child in the world was watching this video right now, what's one thing you would want to say to all of them that maybe you haven't already mentioned about raising an autistic child?
um, that is a good question. I would say um, there's no cookie cutter mold for um, raising a child with autism. They're all so unique. Um, every situation is so unique that you just have to be open to open to um, the their own pattern. They all have their own patterns, and you're you have to let go of your preconceived notions of what you think your child should be capable of doing, and at what age, and just let your child be your child.
That's beautiful. I wish more parents thought like that. To be honest, of the ones I've interacted with, only a couple really think like that. At this time, I did have one other question that's not on here, but
Sure.
in regards to COVID-19 and everything to do with it, like quarantine, increased cases, and things like that, what has been something that has stood out about your child? Like, are they responding? Is he responding positively to the crisis overall? How's this shown, etc.?
Overall, I mean, he's definitely noticed that things have changed. You know, he doesn't get to go to the store with us anymore. We don't take him out to eat, or so there's definitely been some changes in his life. He doesn't wear a mask. He just we put one on him, but he won't keep one on, and so that was another reason not to send him to school. But I mean, I think he's just doing what the best he can do. I don't know that he is actually aware that there's a global pandemic going on, but
Yeah.
but we try to get him out and try to keep him active and try to keep him engaged where we can. So that's all we can do right now.
Yeah, I know that feeling. At this time, is there anything else you would like to say that you haven't already mentioned and wish to? Do you have any questions for me? Anything like that?
You know, I had thought of a question for you, but now I cannot remember it for the life of me.
Well, if you like, what we can do is you can think it over and you can message it to me if it comes back up.
Sure.
And maybe I'll make a separate video where I tack on the answer at the end or something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And when preparations are completed and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on this.
Sure.
This will be released. I'm thinking about scheduling it for a release the week before Thanksgiving, so that way I can say, like, here's something that I can give to you, the community, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Anyway, this has been another installation of Discussion Corner videos with the Autism Fridays with Christopher Cleveland project. We hope you at the community will stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay sane through these tough times. Have a great night, and we will hope to see you. Hi, I'm Christopher Cleveland, creator, host, and director of Autism Fridays with Christopher Cleveland. I am a certified secondary education provider located in Moab, Utah, and I'm here to tell you about my show, Autism Fridays with Christopher Cleveland. If you wish to have optimistic, educational, humorous, fun content which holds ideas for age-appropriate discussions for your autistic child or other relative about the COVID-19 crisis and your state's related efforts to curb its spread, subscribe to my YouTube channel or join the Facebook group Autism Fridays with Christopher Cleveland today.